Another beautiful night to sit down and unwind to positive vibes, maybe. I'm one half of the team. I go by the name of Dash Smith. If you don't know, now you know. About to be joined shortly by my brother and my partner in crime in this thing, Jeide Track. And tonight we having a special guest. But before we get all into that, let me post this topic. Let me invite some guests, and then we could get this conversation and party started. How's everyone living? What is the vibes and the energy? First off, congratulations to the Cincinnati Bengals. Shout out to the Bengals. Making it to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Destroyed my whole FanDuel parlay, but I mean, nonetheless, I'm proud of them. Hold on, let me write this topic. Then to anybody entering the room, how y'all doing? How's the energy? How y'all living? Influence of women. The influence and power of women. So tonight's topic is the influence of power and women. I really got to get better with typing and talking. Cause this is out of control. But to anybody that's entering, what's good? What's good? Women in art. There we go. Now I am ready. So yeah, Cincinnati ruined my whole FanDuel. But congratulations to them nonetheless, Nonetheless. Oh, Kang, what's good with you? East Coast Snow Life, yeah. You already know the vibe. So definitely shout out to Cincinnati, doing something that they haven't done in years. Now I just need the Los Angeles Rams to hold down and do their thing and win this game for me. Help a brother make a little extra cheddar. Plus, I just want to see Joe Burrow versus Odell in the Super Bowl. I want something exciting, GOAT Tom Brady, he retired, so we need something enlightening to keep us going. Jetty, what's good with you? So, we're about to be joined by a special guest. Actually, let me send off the invitation to her just in case she didn't get it yet. Here we go. Why isn't it not sending? Hold on. I hate that. I don't like that at all. Okay. Don't like that at all. Jetty, actually send an invitation to our guest. It's not popping up when I'm typing in her name for some reason. So send off an invitation to her, and then we could get this thing started up. And I could bring her in. I don't know why it's not letting me send it to her. But yeah, that's throwing me off. That's throwing me off completely. But we're talking about women in power. Oh, good, Jetty. That's good looking. We're talking about women in power. So in conversation with all that, I definitely got to give a shout out to Power Book 2. Phenomenal episode they just posted. Some of this shit is just unbelievable. Because the way Tariq coming off, man, my man coming off as like a little ghost. And I am like, for one, am going crazy. I'm just like, how's this kid maneuvering better than... But show was good nonetheless. Episode was great nonetheless. Shout out to the showrunner, Courtney Kemp, another phenomenal woman doing her thing. What up with you, Jay Sony? How you living?
Oh, man, what's going on? Since we hoodieing up today, I gotta put my shit up. I mean, it look like we about to pull a caper and shit.
Oh yeah, cause I'm on wolf mode right now, and I couldn't find my hat, and I was just like, you know what? we throw the hood on. Where the hood at?
What's going on? You growing it out? What's going on? I seen you on the cooking in the cooking
I'm trying to grow it out a little bit, get one to my layers again. One of my OGs, he was telling me like a little while ago, he was just like, I remember when you had the long hair and the energy you resembled then. Maybe you need to take that back and grow your hair out to become one with yourself again. I was just like, you know what? I am sitting down with myself more. Let me grow out my hair. Let me see how it's going to be.
Y'all had braids? I mean, you had braids before?
Yeah, this was early in the day. This was like maybe 03, 04. Chopped them off around the time Hov was talking about we gotta wear the button ups, get the hair.
I got on this grown man. Soon as Hov came out, said that nigga said, "All right, we out of here."
I'm an official Hov Avenger. I already know this. Like when Hov said we wasn't doing that no more, I was just like, all right, you right, Hov. We off that. Like
You went from Genuine to American Gangster real quick.
oh, Hov is the GOAT for me. So, when he said it, I did it. It was just like, all right, we moving with the tides. We moving with the tides and the weather of it all.
I feel you. It was Drake. The one line that Drake said that kind of sealed the deal. I was gonna be like, shit, it's gonna be hard for niggas to bring braids back, and then niggas brought braids back because of course. But when he said something like he said he did a shot at niggas with braids, and he said, and that goes out to every nigga except Trey. I was like, and then Trey cut his hair, so it's like, all right.
Look, we ain't listening to Drake that much with it. Like, we're going to only listen to him to a certain extent. And then after that, it's just like, all right, my G, like Drake not really from the hood. Like, he give us slappers, but he ain't moving the culture enough to be telling people how they should be wearing their hairstyles. At least not the fellas.
I dig on it. Von Brown said, I want to see where this convo will go and call bullshit if I don't like something. That's smooth. Well, welcome. Welcome. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
So I had some issues, man. I was watching Power today.
Yeah.
That joint lit. Like, that joint lit. Courtney Kemp, she doing her thing, but it's just some unbelievable stuff that's going on up in there,
Hold on. We got to bookmark that. Give us 2 seconds because of all this promoting that we doing, everybody else shit. We got to shout out to our sponsors. Every High Science. Soon, PVM merchandise will be available at T-Shirt Mercenaries on IG. High Science, we are powered by our first sponsor. We gotta give them love, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to T-Shirt Merchandise, shout out to High Science. Merchandise coming very soon. But go ahead, fam, my bad.
Oh, no, I was saying that the episode was good, but it was some unbelievable stuff up in it. It's this one character, Mecca, baddest motherfucker on the show until he ran to this teenage kid's Rick. And I'm just like, all right, now, what we doing, Kemp? What's up, love? How you feeling?
Hi, guys.
Miss Angelica, the woman, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal. How are you, gentlemen, this evening?
Nice. Thank you for asking.
Right. So what about?
Good to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So
that your producer / engineer has also entered the building as well. Tommy Scorch, shout out.
Hi, babe.
Including Bay, pardon me. Right on. But let's get into it just off of a real smooth slide in on a type of an icebreaker for everybody that's in here. Kindly introduce yourself as far as who you are, because we went on your IG and you have a lot of avenues to who you are, So let the people know exactly what we dealing with as far as this conversation is concerned this evening.
Phenomenal. I am Angelica, the artist, the musician, the singer, the new rapper, the photographer, the makeup artist, the stylist. I am a jack of all trades, or should I say like a Joanne of all trades, rather.
yeah.
But otherwise, I consider myself an artist first. I do a whole lot of different things. I wear a whole lot of different hats. And at the end of the day, I just love to create. Whatever vehicle comes to me, I learn and I grow in it. And here I am.
Right on. Dig that.
What's your biggest passion so far out of everything that you dibble and dabble into? What calls at your heart the most?
Well, to be honest with you guys, singing is my first love. But I had to do a lot of inner work, a lot of growth on my part, spiritually and emotionally, to be able to get through the fear of doing it and making it a thing. So hence me having like, you know, a small following and kind of just putting out there that I'm doing the singing thing. But what has truly helped me grow through all of those, like, you know, ups and downs with getting through my fears is working in other vehicles of creation. So that's how photography happened for me. That's how modeling happened. That's how the makeup art and the styling and things happen for me. Just using those creative vehicles to kind of like break through my, you know, my shyness, my introversion, to get to what I really truly love, which is singing and rapping now too, which I just found out I was a rapper. So
Wait, hold on, stop. How long ago did you just find out that you could rap?
yo, the last record that I have in my bio, link in bio, by the way, if you guys checking me out,
Right.
that is my first rap song.
Oh, for real?
That is my first rap song, y'all. And I'm just putting it out there that I've always written, so I've always written poetry. Um, and I always talked heavy, like, oh my gosh, yo, if I really wanted to rap, I could rap and I could do it. I finally got through all of the BS and actually put it on a record, put it in wax. So if you guys want to check it out, you know, you can link in my bio. But otherwise, I'm just working on a project musically that's a little bit of both, kind of seeing where things take me. So,
You know what? You dance well too, because we wanted to know when you started. I ain't gonna hold you. This is why I'm asking. I'm asking because you crazy flow and charisma on that record, Affirmations of a Bad Bitch. Because you know we checked it out. You got a crazy style on that shit. It don't sound like somebody that just decided to say, I pick up a pen. And it makes sense because you say that your background and your history is poetry. So that means that you've always been invested in wordplay.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you've been there. But this don't sound like this is the first time that you picked up to rap. This is the first time you rap, period.
I'm taking it all. Thank you guys for the compliment. But yes, well, the last record I did prior to that, I covered Tony Braxton's "High," like making me high. I did a little verse on there too. So that was my official first rap verse. But this second little verse was my official, like, showing that I could rap, you know, really seeing what I had in me to put out to you guys. So thank you so much. Like, I'm taking that in right now. Like, I appreciate that so much. But just writing throughout the years, like, I started writing for the most part in high school. I love poetry. That was literally my favorite class in high school. You know, always written poetry for fun, you know, just for the sake of creating. And here I am rapping, you know, writing songs and things too. But to me, it's nothing like, it's nothing more phenomenal than discovering new talents in yourself.
Yeah, for real. That's a fact.
So good.
No. Let me ask you something though, Miss Angelica, because this is interesting. Because you have a particular spirit and energy about you. You know what I mean? You can ignite things rather quickly in large in circumstances and stuff. And I'll say this because you have a video that you're with Bay and you're making cat noises. And I felt that really peculiar. But then as I'm listening and as I'm reading the caption and understanding that this is a part of your creative process, I'm like, yo, for somebody to have that much invested confidence within the creative process to express at that level, that is a high intelligence, you know? So with that being said, you know, have you found yourself in the ebbs and the flows of networking and the larger aspect of the industry? Have you found that confidence within yourself and how you admit it, has it helped you or has it hindered in certain aspects of your growth as an artist in your career?
Very easy to answer. It has definitely helped me because I believe in fun first. I'm big, you know, big feminine energy. Like I move in my feminine first. So I'm in my feelings a lot. I move in my intuition a lot. But in order for me to be aligned, I believe it's fun first. So no matter what, I do the things that make me feel tapped in, tuned in, and turned on to my fun. You know, so there will be times where it's going to look really silly. I play around a lot. Like, sometimes it doesn't look like I'm serious at all. But I'm sure if you guys have like kind of did a little bit of digging, you'll see that I am truly creating.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that people, when they see it, they're like, she ain't serious. She not about that life. But that is actually the key to me being able to truly create and enjoy the process, is continuing to always remember ease, love, joy, fun. Those are my top 4. If it becomes hard, I take a break. If it's not fun anymore, I take breaks. If it's not easy, I take breaks and I come back. When I feel like I realign myself and I'm able to be in that honest, true space of enjoying the process, and I come back and everything works like magic. Don't give me the line as to how it works, y'all, but it works. I guess. I see my cousin just popped on, so.
Right on.
Right. No, that's needed, because you definitely need those breaks away from everything just to kind of decompress and recharge the battery, and it kind of bring you into a new light to see things under a new perspective. Mm-hmm. But I do have a question. What necessarily got you out your comfort zone that kind of start wanting to share in your work and start exploring rapping even more? Like, what kind of tapped you out of that? Like, I see you say you like everything that's fun. So was it more so like a niche of wanting to explore a side of you that you hadn't expressed more so to the public, or what?
Absolutely. So a big, stepping stone for me would put me into being comfortable being in this platform and being able to do this work is a lot of definitely shadow work. I don't know if you guys know about shadow work. Doing the work to start to get to the bottom of what it is I really wanted, no holds bar. Like, without the fluff, without all the, well, I kind of want this, but I kind of want that. Kind of what I was doing when I was exploring some of the other creative avenues, doing them because I liked them, but I didn't really love them. When I started to really break down, the little darker part of me that I hadn't really touched on, and when I say shadow work, I'm also talking about some of the sensuality, some of the sexier stuff that you see that you guys see that I'm doing. Getting to the bottom of realizing that is a big part of who I am, and I want to showcase that for the world. A lot of women, I think, they do themselves a disservice by not admitting that they like attention. They want to feel seen. They want to feel heard. But bigger than that, in order for you to be seen and heard and feel comfortable in that realm, you have to feel safe. And I think doing the work of realizing that if I'm in expression, I am safe. That was the big thing for me. It's just art. We get so caught up in our heads about what people think about us or how's this going to affect my relationships. I realized that as I stepped into my personal divinity, and did that work to realize this is what I really want to be doing. And this is what I want to show the world. Everything else aligned around me. So even me coming to a space of getting more clear about the story I want to tell, because I'm obviously doing a project that I will be dropping in the fall coming up. But I wouldn't have been able to really do that had I not gotten to the bottom of some of my inner processes that weren't the prettiest, that weren't the nicest. Admitting that I want certain things, admitting that I need certain things, and being able to translate that on the records. So
that's about that process. How did you start to sit down with yourself to kind of do the shadow work and get to that dark place stuff?
The ironic, well, it's not ironic, it makes perfect sense, but journaling, y'all. Journaling is so powerful. I know you guys have spoken to, guests in the past about journaling. It is life-changing, especially for women. I always speak from a space of, speaking for women because I am in a woman's body. This is my incarnation this time around. But it is life-changing. It is absolutely life-changing because you cannot lie to yourself when you write. I don't know what it is about writing, but you cannot lie to yourself. You can't, how can you write a lie to yourself? You can't. So you'll start to find the things, and they'll come up, the things that come up that make a difference in what it is you want and what you need when you start writing.
Yeah, that's a fact. That African butterfly said facts. Journaling makes a big difference.
Absolutely. Life-changing.
Read. Spelling, simple as that,
It reveals your soul.
Absolutely.
It reveals so much. And speaking of shadow work, glad that you brought that up because, art is our lives, it's our heart, It's how we breathe, you know, because it's how we express. It's like a language onto our own. It's a world onto our own. So it's how we thrive, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, we're humans. So there are flaws and deficiencies that we have individually and respectively that once we start to address these issues within ourselves as humans, then we become even doper ass fucking artists and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I agree. I completely agree. Because again, like when you start to tell yourself the truth, then you can create the truth. The truth that is which is your soul. Like we all have a different perspective, and the thing I love about being human, the thing I love about being like alive is like the experience of being able to share that perspective. And I find that like when you really tune in and hone into your perspective and own it, the vehicles of creation, they become really easy. Like you don't overthink. Like even with photography, like I haven't even been shooting for a year yet.
Okay.
Like, you know, I picked up a camera and I just felt my way through. Obviously, I had to learn like some, you know, technical stuff to learn how to like shoot manual and stuff like that. But otherwise, like you become really like when you do your work, like you become really, really sure of how you want to share the perspective, like how you want to share it, and all the other technical stuff kind of just works itself out around it. At least from my perspective.
Nah, I feel that. I really do.
I guess.
Yeah, so that was I am Mark Love said yo yo.
Peace. What's going on, gang? So in connecting that, I'll put myself out there just as far as a vignette before I even ask you questions. I just walked out of a space of a shadow, and that's the other thing about shadow work. It never really ends, but you got like spaces and gaps in which you can breathe a little bit before the next lesson come around and shit. So I'm kind of sort of in a little pivot of that. But the one of my last chapters involved a deep fear immortality that connected to me failing loved ones before they you know needed to transition and such, you know what I mean, because last year I lost my mom. Now I'm not gonna say lost her, she transitioned July 31st, and it was a dark space within that, and I had to find myself once again in relation to truths that I knew, you know what I mean, one of which includes her not being here in the physical but her still existing in the spiritual, because it's energy, you know what I mean, it's all connected to God. I am a spiritual person. I am a faith person as well. So, but it's still hurtful because, you know, when you love, you love. But a part of that shadow work opened me up when I embraced certain things and I stopped resisting, and I was just being able to learn how to be still in moments, even if I was uncomfortable, even if I was uncertain, just being able to be still. You know what I mean? It does something. It just does something, and it allows for me anyway. It allows for me to look at things from a different perspective. It's almost like slowing down time enough for you to not make the wrong mistake. You know what I mean? Or not the wrong mistake, but the wrong decision. You know what I mean? So, in relation to you, I was wondering what aspect of shadow work, you know what I mean, highlighted something that once you turned that little something, you shit was just turned up.
Definitely the part of me that really owned the fact that I feel that women are the gatekeepers of sensuality. Owning my sexual, dark, sexy energy turned it on for me. Like, oh my gosh, like it's insane to talk about because like I felt like for so long, like I walked around in this energy, like it's there, of course, you know what I mean? Like I'm a woman, I embrace my sexiness, my femininity, X, Y, and Z. But when I truly like looked at it and started to say, I'm going to put this in my work unapologetically, I'm starting to learn so many things about myself behind like really embracing it. Even looking at the music industry and seeing how much it has changed, like look at like the rap game. The rap game is comprised of so many females, so many women that are owning that dark, sexy energy, and like they're killing the game, y'all. And I think that it's being put on a pedestal for us, you know, as women to wake up. Like so much of why we live in so much fear is because we really, to me, at least in my perspective, we do not embrace our sexuality and our sensuality enough. Like, we allow the world to dictate to us how we're going to use that creative energy. Because I know if you guys are into energy studies, you understand that creative energy sits right on top of sexual energy. Like, your sacral chakra is all about creation, but it also, you know, intermingles and melds with sex and that type of stuff. So I find that when I started to really embrace my sexy, the vein just blew wide open. Like, even right now, me, like, obviously if you're watching me on Instagram, you guys will see that, you know, I made my page. I'm only at about 170 followers or so. So, you know, I'm still building my following up from having you know, made a new page and kind of started from scratch. I'm digging into this work, and it's reigniting me in terms of photography too. So, like, I'm starting to shoot again because I'm really like riding the energy and riding the wave. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's just like we all have things that really drive us. And I believe, like, for me, my sensual sexy energy definitely drives me, for sure.
Whew. And listen, if y'all don't believe it, know that y'all dealing with a powerful one here, folks. As soon as she introduced the concept of sexual energy, the kitty cat stepped in the screen.
But I got my girls. I got a little I'm house sitting a puppy, a Pomeranian here. Got the cat here, but there's so many like some like influences in our music and our art, like, you know, so much feminine symbolism, and you're seeing it so much more now, like in visuals, and you're seeing it everywhere because there's, I think, at least in my perspective, like, it's a call for women to wake up and start using it like currency, like it's money, y'all. It is like the underlying currency to the world. Sex, it sells, of course, but it drives everything. We are sexual creatures, and I find that, like, when you really get to a space where you get safe enough to own it, and I also wanted to talk about that tonight as well, to own that, it really opens up like the creative, like, I don't know what to call it, the creative gate, at least for me, that it definitely has, for sure.
Right on, right on.
Also, has it helped you? Like, what parts of yourself have you seen elevate as you've, you know, tapped in this creative space of yourself on your sexuality? Like, what parts of yourself have you seen improve, or that you, let's say, that you learned to love even more, or that stood out more about your character that wasn't there before?
Definitely, it's definitely elevated my writing, for sure. Being able to do the music project that that I've been working on and talking about. There's so many things that I wanted to put on record that for years I would have been too nervous and too afraid to put out there, because the whole time the story's playing, like, how are people going to perceive this, you know? How's my family going to take it? How are my friends going to perceive it? Is it going to isolate me? Is it going to put me on in a space where, like, this big light shining on me, but not in a positive way, of course. But being able to do the work is allowing me to tell parts of the story that a lot of people are not touching on, or if they are touching on it, you see it through the guise of, like, you know, maybe an artist that you may not necessarily relate to. To me, I'm like the typical introverted chick that just, you know, that enjoys creating. Like, I'm not like this stripper. I'm not this big, larger than life person that's, you know, commanding a whole bunch of attention. I'm a chick in a crib with cats and a dog. And I like to write, and I hang out and I lay up. And so, you know, I think that when you start to own your own brand of sexy, you get to create conversations from a perspective that other people that may be in your vein can relate to, you know, and just kind of using that extremely powerful energy to ride off of that, kind of like ride the wave, you know. But I'll be honest with you, a big part of that is having the masculine container, you know. I don't know if many people know, but Tommy Scorch, my producer, is also my fiance.
Yeah.
Just got engaged in December, and or Christmas actually. And to be honest with you guys, like, I want to also put this out there while I'm here. Like, so many women don't have a really strong masculine container. Like, as a woman, it's in our DNA. It's our encoding for us to feel like always on edge, not really safe, because we've had thousands and thousands of years living in this patriarchal society that is built on telling us our femininity is wrong or it's off, or, you know, kind of like what is the word? Putting us on inquisition as witches, because the moment you start being powerful, you look weird to people. I believe that when you live in a patriarchal society, it is so important for women to embrace partnering up. Like, partner up with somebody that can hold space for you, so that you can have a certain level of comfort and foundation so that you can grow in your creativity and explore certain things without feeling like so vulnerable. Because I'm not like, for me to sit here and pretend like the sexy sensual energy is not still scary in my bones, it is. That never goes away. I don't think, like, a lot of women don't talk about this, but that doesn't go away. Like, it's up to you to create scenarios where you feel more at peace with it, you know. But having a good partner, having a good master container in a patriarchal society will allow you to experience and explore things that you would probably have a little bit of a harder time doing without. So I wanted to throw that out there today, because I think a lot of people assume, like, when you do sexy work, X, Y, and Z, like, you're this single just woman just flying all over the place. Like, I'm very staid. I meditate and I pray every day. Like, you know, I live in comfort and peace. I'm really, for the most part, relaxing and enjoying. So that gives me space to learn and create and do my inner work. So I just wanted to throw that out there too. Like, you know.
No. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you for doing that, because as a beautiful response to a balance, that because we got to give it back to y'all. Like, one of the things that contributes so much to the toxic masculinity and patriarchy and shit like that is when we don't give ourselves enough to a woman in such a way that we open the space and we are within the space enough to be vulnerable, to be our inner child with that woman. You know what I mean? Too busy playing tough guy, this, that, and the third, you're going to displace energy and shit like that. You know what I mean? So in order for you, just like for you to even say that, and for you to be in that consciousness, and for you to be in this union that you're in with your fiance, I salute that. First of all, that's a beautiful thing. And that shit helps because, you know, once again, after the situation from last year, I told my lady, I'm in a relationship as well. I told my lady, like, yo, if you didn't come at the time that you did, and I've known it for years, but it was just a situation that, you know, as we got closer to that point, you know, the connection was just growing stronger. But if she wasn't there at the time that she was there, and she talked to my spirit and my heart the way that she did at the time, that I'd have been a monster. I'd have been there was a lot of shit going on. And as a man, we don't have time when shit going on. All we do is attack. We got shit to do. Like the grieving, the feeling, that shit hit the back burner. We got shit to do, you know what I mean? And I was about to be in a real dark spot. I was gonna be a fucking monster.
Wow.
But she opened up a space for me in order for me to be able to balance, you know, just the realities of everything that was happening, you know. So women are extremely powerful. We love you for that. Thank you.
Thank you, and I appreciate you sharing that for sure. I think that so I think we sometimes in the vein of like creating, I think sometimes we skip past like how much safety and how much being secure and feeling secure makes a difference in how you express. You know, again, like knowing that like a part of like a lot of my work is definitely like going forward, and you guys will hear it as you hear my project and I put the music out. You know, I go a little, like, it's gonna go dark. It's gonna be very sexy, and like for me to be able to hold space for that, you know, and feel that ancestral kind of like thing in my bones where it's like, oh, this is a little bit against the grain, especially for someone who like me who's never really done sex work, that's not like someone that like lives that every day, so I'm kind of like, you know, immune to it, or like kind of like, what's the word, desensitized to it. I think it's so important for us to give credit to the partners in our lives that hold strong for us, that create the containers for us, you know, like, and I just, like I said, wanted to put that out there just because, you know, you like, people judge. People definitely judge because, like, you know, I went from being like this really introverted, still always silly, having fun, enjoying myself, of course, but to going from that to being like dark, sexy, that fast. Like, I'm sure people are probably like, oh, they believe it. They're like, well, what happened? Right. That's what happened. When you have someone in your space or someone in your life, or, you know, having the container, doing the inner work to feel safe in your skin, you start to explore. You know, you start to explore and you start to tell a different story because you feel safe enough to. So.
So how did he go about creating this safe space for you? Like, that's what I'm most curious about. Like, how did he, one, make you feel at ease enough to open up to him in such a space? And then once he was there, for him to make you feel secure enough to, you know, express that dark side with everybody else. Because it's one thing of sharing it with your mate and allowing them to see it, but it's another sharing it in art and then putting it in your music and then sharing it with the world.
growing with me, growing as I grow. I find that when you get the right partner, you guys spark growth in each other.
Mm-hmm.
So when you want to veer off a little, you want to veer on, you want to go left, you want to go right, you want to go up, you want to go down, that person kind of just skates with you and dances with you. So seeing past through the years, him like growing with me, doing his own inner work on his side, gave me the courage to be able to, along with obviously my own inner work, gave me the courage to say like, let me play a little bit over here and see what happens. You know, let me say this, let me try this and see where it goes. You know, like when you have someone there that is willing to move with you, it gives you courage and it makes you feel seen, like truly seen, because they're not just seeing you for one part of the process. They're not saying, oh, you're cool over here, but when you go over here, I don't know. Because I feel like so many of us are not rocking the boat in our relations, not rocking the boat in our creativity because we don't know if people are going to rock with us.
Yo.
I mentioned you guys, talking to you guys and saying like I created a new Instagram. I'm at 170 Instagram followers because I chose to make a new page.
Right.
Put my energy there because I said, you know, like these people know me for this and that's cool or whatever. And I probably could have did that there, but I want to create a new space and I want to see what I attract over here doing what I'm doing, you know, unapologetically, not having to explain myself, not having to, let me like mute what I'm doing. Cause you know, a lot of times we're doing that. Well, like we'll mute. We don't want these people to see when we're family, X, Y, and Z. I sent it out to everybody, but I wanted to make sure that when I moved, they moved.
Yes.
And my partner moves when I move. Not because I'm leading or anything like that, but it's because I'm comfortable in my skin, I'm comfortable in my processes, and I'm comfortable creating where I am. And I think when a man loves you and he respects you, he's going to move with you. He grows with you. Like you don't have to back lead. You don't have to tell him he got to come along. You just move.
Right.
And it's a beautiful thing. Like it really is.
I think that's what both partnerships, and female, like if you got the right partner, they're gonna move accordingly with you as you progress, because they see that you taking to try to walk along your purpose. So, but that's dope. That's dope, though. Are you going to tell us about this project though? Because you kind of been giving us little snippets here and there throughout the interview and everything. Kind of been giving us little teasers about what's to come. So, what are we expecting with this project, and when is it going to be released? You know, how many songs? You know, the template, the feel, the vibe, the energy surrounding it, the backstory, the creation of the songs. We want to know it all.
This particular project, and I'm not naming it yet because it's going to be a surprise, but the feel of this project is me from the shadow side. So it's going to be me expressing through the process, like, you know, like of doing my songs, like how I feel on the backside, wanting and craving attention. You know, like as I mentioned, you know, owning my dark side, owning like the sensual part of me, the tempo, the music. It's going to be very sexy, very definitely maybe an alternative R&B. Definitely going to be touching on some rap, of course. As you guys know, I'm like really excited about that part. But for the most part, just like me, but from like as if I was journaling, but on the dark side, but like do my shadow work, but like in the form of an EP. So I say EP meaning it's not gonna be it's not gonna be like a full 12, 13 song like record album. It'll be like maybe 4 or 5 songs, depending on what we like and what we finish up with. But for the most part, it's just going to be a little bit of us playing there because I'm a firm believer in telling a story with my art. So I'm starting there. So it'll be short, it'll be sweet, but it'll be to the point. And as I grow as an artist and like do more music, you'll see the story play out. So you guys got to hang on to see like, you know, see how it plays out and pans out. But for the most part, it'll definitely be alternative R&B, you know, definitely like, you know, some Middle Eastern vibes, like some really cool, like sexy rap stuff. So you guys will see.
Okay.
Stick with me.
And already? You already won me over when you Middle Eastern. Like,
Hold on, we got a comment. Scotty Golden asked, why dark?
Because that's where I am right now. Like I'm a firm believer in balance. There's a light side and most people play in their light side, but you will never truly become powerful until you own your dark side. Yes. Your dark side is the part of you that in every, like, you know, men may move in more in their masculine, women move more in their feminine. That's what I believe. Like, you know, I feel like I was incarnated into this body and into this space for a reason. But dark feminine energy is definitely sexy. It's sensual. It is the part of us that we've been told is masculine energy, but it's really just the darker side of feminine energy. So the anger, the sadness, you know, creating, like talking about creating boundaries, you know, and like, and owning the parts of you that are being truthful and honest versus, you know, like the part of me that I mostly had for so very long presented to the world, which was joyful, fun, never being able to be like upset or angry or, you know, act out. And the funny thing about this is the funny thing about shadow work. When you don't do your shadow work, right? Like you do play things out, but usually it's in the form of a drama. Like instead of it being like, okay, where I'm going to say, you know what, like I have a part in me, like I want to be seen. So instead of like, you know, maybe creating something to be seen, now you're creating this big drama to get attention. You know what I mean? Like, so I think it's important for us to play in that realm so that we're able to own the parts of us that want and need things. You know, talking about my fears, you know, talking about the fears of women, you know, honestly, a big part of this project is going to wind up being like, you know, talking about the general perspective of women, especially being a Black woman and doing this work, and you know, like my perspective, you know, in my skin, you know, where I am and what I want to do. So definitely for sure. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of like you do it because you gotta own you in order to love yourself. Like you have to love all parts.
Yeah.
All parts. Like you can't like, all right, I could love the nice, cool, fun, happy, joyful, you know, acceptable part. But what about the rest?
Now that's when the love really step in. Like that's when you really find out how much you care about yourself, for real, for real. And those around you. Like I'm glad that you talked about doing the dark side of your work, and that's translating into your art because, for real, I had to do a lot of that with my individual project as well.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of I believe where a lot of artists get their best creations and their best projects is when they do sit down and is most honest with themselves. Like it's not about the money, it's not about the cars, girls, or whatever. It's really about like how you feeling inside, like the emotions that you're really withholding and you're not expressing to the world. Those are really what we want to hear and what's going to make you. It's really what stands you apart from the rest of the crowd. Like I can get love songs and I can get pain songs, but what about this love song or this is going to make me resonate with you? Like your story and your individual pain is going to make me care about your project, and I'm going to be able to hear it in the words and how you say it and perform it. So like I am glad that you.
Me and Wayne talk about this or Tommy Scorch, we talk about this all the time. Like so many people are so repressed because they don't have a choice but to be. Like when you literally are running in a 9-to-5 wheel, you got to go to work, you got to come home, you got to pay bills, you got to take care of your kids, you got to deal with your partner. You're literally, most people are running on a loop. It's up to the artists, it's up to the creators to start to have the conversations about the other stuff, you know? And I think that like, I think it's so important for us to do our inner work because then we're able to touch on the things that most people do not touch on. Because a lot of like the thing is, unless somebody like goes to therapy or they're doing inner work or they're journaling, they're doing all this different stuff, they don't really like, and most people don't have time. I say time is of the essence and you get to make your time, right? But most people, their main belief is I don't have enough time. Oh my God, y'all. Like you see the franticness, I don't have enough time. Like as creatives, as artists, we're the ones spending the time playing in this space. We're the ones see like like the drawing and the painting and the writing, slowing our minds down so we're able to see the bigger picture, the bigger spectrum of what it is to be alive and what it is to live. So many people are getting therapy through the music. They're getting therapy through the arts. They're healing through like experiencing our perspective through our creativity. So that's why somebody has to do this work. Like this, the funny thing is like everybody wants to do like the cookie cutter stuff, the stuff that's easy, but like if you really want to, like, I think that if you really want to help, tell the truth. Tell the truth. And then put a pretty bow on it by looking sexy and shaking your booty. Booty, everybody's going to watch. But what happens when you tell the truth and look good too? People are realize it. and they're doing it through experiencing and watching you. And that's why, like, I'm not going to, like, I had to do the inner work in order I have to even do this work, to even be able to put my feelings into song. And I'm still struggling, you guys. Yes. I'm still struggling. I had a session the other day and was having a hard time. I had to shut it down. But that's the thing. I continue to do my inner work, because then no matter if I got to shut it down, because remember, like I said, easy, joyful, fun, love. If I got to shut it down, I can get through my fears, get through my bullshit, and come back. Yeah. So that when it's all said and done, someone listens to my record and says, yo, like, you touched me. You made me start to contemplate and ponder something that I would have never even looked at had you not brought it up. Yeah. I think that is our responsibility as creators, to do the dark work sometimes and have the courage to put it in our art so people heal. No matter what your art form is, like, you could be writing books, you could be writing poetry, you could be taking pictures, you could be, you know, whatever it is. Like, this is our service to the world. I think people forget that sometimes. So
yeah, forget, because you're society that's so demanding, like you said, 9 to 5. You got double shifters, graveyard shifters. You got kids, responsibilities, relationships at home, whether it's to your parents, whether it's to your spouse, whatever the case. Then you got bills, and you got, you know what I mean. And then you got aspirations on top of that, still trying to squeeze it. Like, this shit can really get hectic. It's easy to get caught up in the rat race.
Absolutely, I think that's why I brought up, particularly made sure I brought up the whole idea of having really as a feminine energy being, as a woman. I'm so phenomenally grateful for my partner, who makes sure that I'm provided for in so many ways, so that I'm able to grow in these and do this work. Because let me tell you something, some days it's exhausting. Some days, like, after I do the work, after I'm doing, you know, working on certain projects and different things, like, I'm exhausted and I don't have it. I don't have it to do the extra. You know what I mean? Like, so when someone holds space for you in that way, you're able to, and I think that is our responsibility. I call it, like I said to Tommy, the idea of, as a woman, of being a man's oracle. Like, I'm able to do this work because I have someone holding space for me, and saying, like, okay, I got you on the backside. Right. So the work. And it's almost like that in itself is inspiring me on a regular basis, on a daily basis, to say, get back up and try again. If it didn't sound right, if it didn't look right, do it again. I don't have nothing else to do, y'all. So just do it again and do the work, because at the end of the day, it's a trickle down. It trickles down so much. When we heal and we grow, we create the art that heals and grows the rest of the world. So art is life. So you already know.
Comments real quick. So Tom Sports said she rapped on the Making Me High record. So we're gonna have to hear that eventually.
Right on.
Betty who said, all I got is these broken clocks.
That's my shit.
Golden, what's this? Sunkiss says, spreading knowledge and power as always. This great interview. And then you got another one from your cousin saying, yeah, cuz. And kind of disagreeing with everything else that's been said. Okay, so we pretty much good. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Touche215 said, you're the baddest photographer and artist met in a long time.
Thank y'all. I appreciate the love. I appreciate all of you guys' support, you know, because again, like, I'm in constant growth, constant shedding my skin, Ouroboros style, if you know anything about the Ouroboros. So, like, just constantly, like, changing and growing and trying my best to, like, bend off any and everything that stands in the way of me doing that work. So I really appreciate all the support. I appreciate you guys for even having me on the show. Like, when you guys asked me to come on, I was literally so shocked and surprised. I was so surprised, because I was like, oh my gosh, little me, like, little old me. So I appreciate you guys.
Oh no, one chef hit me onto your page and I heard the song, The Bad Bitches Affirmations. I was just like, oh, okay, you know, we definitely gonna have to give her a play, because I was really fucking with the song. And like, for me, music is my love language. So once an artist catches my ear, like, it's cultivated to learn a little bit more about them. And then like dissecting your page, I was just like, you know what, we really got to pull her up for here because now I'm curious where I gotta have the conversation. Like, so.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you for
appreciate
the-
you having me. So let me ask you guys a few questions. I came with my own questions too.
Okay.
You mentioned that you were doing a project. Like, what exactly does your project look like? What's the complexion? I think
Uh,
a little bit about it in DM, but like if you could reiterate on more, that would be phenomenally appreciative. So.
I got you. I got you. It's a poetry book, so right now I'm gonna say I'm almost done. I'm almost done the first draft of what I'm going to turn into my manager and the team and Jetty to kind of like a view over, give me their opinions before I take the next step and everything. But it's honestly something I've had in the works for over 2 years because I've been picking up and putting down, picking up and putting down. And honestly, between my last two relationships and just the way my life has kind of started to unfold, I felt like it was needed for me to write this. And like a lot of the things that are within it are feelings and emotions I never like either publicly or verbally expressed. So it was things that need to come pouring out, gradually improve upon my life.
Absolutely.
Right on, right on.
Yeah. And then obviously I got like a couple projects for the team PVM. Got a little well, we're working on a little script right now. I don't want to get too much into detail about that. Off camera I'll tell you about it, but we're working on a little project right now, you know, and that's about to be coming shortly, but you know, we're still in promotion of making.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for sharing, though. I appreciate it. And
Oh,
like you guys asking me, like, obviously about my projects, it feels really good to sit in space with, men that are in tune with their creativity as well. And also just curious about, the feminine process. Even seeing the last few guests that you guys have had were female and, creatives and doing their thing. It feels so good and it's so refreshing to have this space to be able to share our perspective. So I definitely thank you guys for that. I appreciate that.
oh, thank y'all for coming up here and sharing your experiences and everything. Like, honestly, the female voice is like the voice we haven't really gotten too much in touch with, you know, like as far as like creatives in general. Like, it's always been female voices, but they haven't been massive to this amount. Like nowadays, where we have like multiple artists to pick from. Like before, you had like one or two females, and that was it. So you kind of your idea of what a female representative or like their thought process kind of limited to what you seen either like in your natural day to day or what you seen out in the media. And since those media figures were limited, you only really got exposed to so many. But coming across so many different women, you kind of come across so many different ideas of how they feel and what they feel and hold near and dear to their hearts. And it kind of makes us better as men because it gives us a deeper understanding of what y'all looking for, you know. And it kind of helps with us and understanding, okay, you know, certain things that we may say or do that may not come across to y'all that we may feel like, you know, is well, you know, it kind of closes the divide between the male and female, you know, like it creates a better understanding.
Absolutely. And I think with that understanding, we definitely create better foundations for people to really start doing the work to, like I said, start creating. Like, a big topic I'm definitely still in lesson about is the idea of social media and how it plays on our psyche and affects us, in our creative process. And let me tell you guys, like, the social media thing is a fucking beast.
Yeah.
It is a beast. Like,
I create the process. I got to get off of it to really do.
woo! Like, it's so crazy. Like, I even like haven't started this new page. I say like early December, like all of like late December, early January, like early January coming into the fact that now that this is the end of the month, like for like those few weeks of like trying to get content done every day, like put myself out there. It is so taxing if you are not doing the work on the backside to make sure you balance that stuff out. Like you really do give so much of yourself when you're creating content, no matter what that content may be. But I definitely say like you have to make sure you find balance, because even right now, like we're on live, so this is a phenomenal. I think this is definitely like the social media thing is a phenomenal, avenues of being able to share your creative work. but like it is a monster. Like it's so hard not to get sucked in.
Yeah.
Like for so many, like for like the last few years of developing my different crafts and different things, like part of the reason I developed so quickly was because I wasn't very active on social media. Like I took so many breaks. Like there were times I took breaks for months and didn't touch it.
Right.
I had the app on my phone and I have Instagram on my phone. So I went from like taking these, sabbaticals from being on social media, wondering what people are seeing, like, are they watching my stories, or oh my God, am I getting enough like analytics, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like from being like didn't care and just developing myself to being there and trying not to get sucked into other people's shit. It is, I get hats off to anybody that's able to find balance with this, yo. Because I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Same.
I'm still trying to figure it out. And I know that, like, as I continue to, like, gain some more clarity about how I want to go forward, with my aesthetic on my social media and how I'm going to wind up, like sharing my, upcoming work. Like, as I'm trying to figure that out, like, I'm still trying to figure it out, like, but I'm definitely gonna still keep creating stuff. Like, even if I don't have everything fully like figured out yet, I'm just trying to still stay consistent and do the work. But sometimes I'm like, yo, I need to take a break.
Oh, no.
Listen, when I was today, all day today, like I've been trying to be off. Like, I know I had to get ready for the live or whatever, but I was just trying to like, get back into the creative vibe. Like I said, being in the studio and not be trying to make BTS and like I said, calling editing pictures and not like, let me check my Instagram. So I'm definitely trying to find balance with that. Like, how do you guys find balance with the social media thing and creating? What's your thing?
It's I have to remind myself sometimes that we are multi-dimensional beings, and the aspect of ourselves that is that sometimes we passive about is like electromagnetic fields, right? How each of us have our own like electromagnetic field that we emit and shit. So like sometimes when I find myself like or like uppity and shit like that, I put the phone down and I just shake shit off and I just breathe. Because it's
Ooh, I'm gonna have to try that.
it's an electrical.
I'm gonna try that. That sounds good.
And it's like at this point it's a fucking satellite. It's more than an electrical device. It's a fucking satellite at this point. So it's like there's a lot of information and it's a lot of energy that's surging into this motherfucker every like once so often, especially if you're charging it. So like just letting it go sometimes, shaking the shit off and just breathing sometimes help me do that.
I'm gonna try it. Cause when I tell you, like, and I feel like I'm so sensitive to that stuff. So like I'll get, like I said, get in me making content and stuff, and I'll just be feeling like I just gotta turn it off sometimes. But like, I think that's a big part of like going forward, like with my project, between the music and like some of the other creative projects I'm working on, like finding ways to share without letting the noise stuff from the outside affect my process so much and like taint the process. Because even now, like, I went into this like having like at the end of the last year saying, okay, I want to do this project, so let me get to work. But like I'm noticing the more that I'm spending time on social media, interacting with new people and different things, like I almost feel like it's starting to make me like change the trajectory a little bit of where I wanted to go. So like I have to try to find ways to like just nudge it back. I kind of always doing this nudging back throughout the process. Like, all right, what did I start this to do? Like, what was I trying to say? Like, not letting that like the message be muddled by outside influences.
All right.
See, that's my biggest issue right there with the social media, because it's easy for me to get distracted and I will start pushing my deadlines back. So my process now is I got everything written dates wise, like when I want everything achieved. And I got like even down to like the number of pages I want to have written by this number of week by this week. So like for instance, I got 10 pages written for weeks. And that's my deadline. Like if I get finished before then cool, but that's my hardcore deadline. So it's there as a daily reminder. So like while I'm on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and the time and the minutes are just going by, I can kind of revert back to that and be like, oh, let me get back to my shit. Let me put this down. I'm obviously being distracted way more because I haven't reached this quota yet. So it kind of is there to like stay on my mind and kind of consistently reminding me what I need to get done, so I don't bullshit myself and I'm not months down the end I'm just like, dang, I was supposed to do that 3 months ago, like I'm still on this.
Well, Wow, absolutely. I definitely agree. I know I'm gonna have to like take some of those little tips and jot them down in my journal for sure, because I think like that's the thing, and like setting some deadlines for myself, because like if anybody knows anything about feminine energy, it's just like flowing, it's wayward, so it's like whenever I get around to it. But I'm learning the big one thing I'm investing about so much is masculine container, like create like masculine containers are like, for instance, right now I do all these different things, but I like I had to like chastise myself because like I don't have a website, like one cohesive place to find all my stuff. So a masculine container would be like making a website, like creating a place where someone can like look at your like rates if you're doing photography, or see like the body of your work kind of all in one space. That's not like obviously Instagram, and like because it's too distracting. Like imagine somebody being on your page and they think about let me go over here, let me click on that, like they're right off. So when you create little spaces like outside of like kind of like to veer your followers or your or the people that are interested in like working with you away from that, it's like stilling the noise in a way. So I'm definitely working on that next, like finding making a cohesive space for my music, my photography, and even like as you mentioned, a poetry book. I was thinking about putting together a little poetry book with some of my old works and do some really sexy pictures and photos and kind of do like maybe like a coffee table type of thing, like just for somebody to be able to kind of have something that's me, like in the crib, like I don't know, just I'm always coming up with like new ideas and things that like might be cool, or might also like work towards my my goal of, like as I mentioned to you guys, helping the world heal through like my process. So plenty in store.
Dig on it, dig on it.
Wait, because we kind of letting these go a little crazy. So the Philadelphian said he loved the honesty from your process. 2.2 pounds says, "Sis, you're the greatest right now."
Thank y'all. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you.
2.2 also said, "This is dope. Tell her K said flex." And then Tommy said, "K gonna be on the record with you shortly."
Kate, what I said from a while ago, like I want to do something with you and collab. Like Kate is another really dope rapper, one of the best that I know personally. So it would be an honor to have you. It would be an honor for sure.
All right. Future collab we see coming shortly.
For sure.
So a tie in the Ruffin says, "She bad, my yoke." I don't know what he's saying. CYA.
Thank you. I appreciate you. That's another one. He a problem. He is a problem. Look, I have been so blessed to have so many like fly writers. Mark definitely chimed in. Mark Love, a writer. I have so many people that are graciously taking their time to help me and help me build this project. So like I haven't gotten a chance to do my shout outs. I was going to try to do that towards the end. But since you're reading through the comments, because I haven't really been paying attention, I've been trying to like focus on you guys. But oh my gosh, like I am so lucky and so blessed to have so many dope artists that want to really work with me and that want to help me build this project. Guys, I thank you and I appreciate you. So anybody that's watching, you guys are helping me. Like I appreciate you guys so much, and I can't wait to share with you guys what we do, like how we make our little creative babies. Because I feel like when you work with other people, it's like you're making a little creative baby with them. So like it's
Right. And you gotta be mindful of who you create and share your energy with. Like some people could throw off the whole project completely. Like
good. But you know what? I find like I have pretty clean energy. So, I throw it out there. Like I usually don't attract that. Like I'll be honest with you, like most of the time if I attract weird shit, it just falls off of me. Like it rolls right off. There's so many times where like I think people have had like a tendency to do things like mean or rude or bad to me. Like, and I don't even be knowing. Somebody would tell me like down the line, like, that person. I'm like, oh my word, that was happening. I didn't even know. And I find that like that's why I believe in the four big: joy, fun, love, and ease. Like when you constantly check yourself for those four things, life is just easy. It's smooth. Like you don't get and I speak this out loud because I believe words have power. And it's coming from the perspective of being a woman that loves other women and stuff too. I have so much masculine energy coming to like cover me and help me with this project, but I'm looking for the women. Like I can't, like any female artists, any like women that want to collab and do some fly shit, hit me up. I love work. I want to work with other women. I want to like plug energy and just do something so sexy, menage a trois, sexy like art, like, but just with on a female side, like. But it's crazy because like I don't be getting it. Like I don't see the shade, man. I don't see none of that. Like, so and in the meantime, like I'm just throwing it out there too. Like any women, female artists that want to work, collab, photography, music, whatever, hit me up. Because I have this really crazy like idea for like some live work too. Because this is actually my first time going live on this page.
Oh,
So yeah, so you know, like now that I'm in a vibe with you guys, like you guys, I'm gonna ride this. I think I'm gonna ride this, and I want to do some stuff on my side too. But like, it's just about finding the right people. And I'm big about allowing things to come to me. Like I'm feminine energy all day, baby. You gotta come to me. You gotta come to me. So like, if you want to come, you want to work, like hit me up for sure.
we actually got a comment about somebody saying something about teams. So it's funny that you said that. Yes, Darren actually says it's also important to have your team and share the responsibilities. Your team. So it's funny that you mentioned that because that was one thing I was about to ask you about. Like, do you have a team in place on you to help you accomplish all the goals you have on in mind? You know, like besides Tommy, of course. Like,
Listen, I consider my team fluid, meaning like I'm really big about getting the best creative result by allowing things to just fall where they may. Meaning like when people come to me and want to work, I usually just allow it. Like I don't try to overthink it. Like if you want to come, you want to do a song with me, I'm here. Like let's work. I'm not like because I believe that no matter what, like I have enough, at least in my perspective, I have enough clean energy that usually things will just fall into place. So for the most part, I just let the team be fluid. So like if you want to come and work on one thing or two things, or you get busy, like you know you fall off. I'm big about allowing, allow. Like so if it happens, it happens. I don't really try to lock anything in stone too much because then I feel like then you create that sense of tension. Because like if people get tired, you know, like people have lives, like people like you know, especially because like I'm in the beginning phases of doing like music artistry. So anybody that I would be working with would be like more like a freelance person anyway. Like so I don't force it. But if you want to work, hit me up. Cause you already know what it is.
Right on, right on.
Absolutely. If it makes my job easier, you know, and I believe in like the whole concept of Napoleon Hill Mastermind group. Like, so like, you know, when you bring more heads in a scenario, you bring more intelligence, you bring more genius together, you can only get better. Especially when everybody has the same intention. You can only get better. You can only get something that's really great. So at least for me, I can't speak for everybody else, but you know.
I dig it. I dig it. That's for real, for real. You know what I mean? But we are rounding up on the hour point right at this moment, you know. Miss Angelica, woman, thank you so much once again for sharing your time, for being transparent, for being so real and unabashedly yourself with us this evening. We appreciate it. But before we're out, we like to have a little bit of a tradition shared at this round table, and we just like to leave one thing on the table that just struck a chord with you, you know. I'll be going first. As far as me, I just felt like individuality and your fearless drive. That's what I'll say, fearless drive, because it's something that I really appreciate, that's refreshing in this conversation with you. And it's just you're in a really, really confident and really cool and calm place about, you know what I'm saying, where your trajectory is going to be as far as your growth and your resources, both inward and externally, you know what I mean? So that's why I put that on the table, fearless drive. You know?
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. But I wanna say this since you speak about fearlessness. I'm definitely a lesson about fear, but you would think that being fearless means like having no fear. I think that some of my courage comes from the fact that I own my fear. Like I walk with it. I'm learning to hold it. I'm learning to give it space. I say she meaning like fear. I personify as female. She's on my team. Fear keeps in a sense like to a certain extent fear keeps you safe because fear allows you to like stop it forces you to stop and question things. And because I'm always stopping and questioning things and examining things and taking my time, usually I find that I'm more safe and I'm more at peace. So being fearful, meaning like holding fear as a friend and not an enemy, is actually helping me gain momentum and have courage. So I do wanna like thank you so much for recognizing that, because I am definitely in a work in process with that for sure. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
I know.
All right. So I'm gonna finish out these last comments and then I'll get final words. You have one from Darren that said, I've learned not to overextend myself. Your artistry is find what's the one thing that's important to you, hone in on it, and shoot the dart. Everything else will fall in place. And then he's also followed that up by saying, don't be afraid to step out of the box. Music is worldwide.
Thank you, Darren. I appreciate that. I appreciate your support.
And he said you has the it factor too.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So my final words is going to thank you first for coming on and joining us, and sharing your voice. The female voice is something that we need to hear more of. So I'm definitely thankful that you're choosing to embrace your fear and express your voice. Like most artists, we kind of just want to hear your story. So like, keep sharing it, keep spreading it, and keep doing you. And we're gonna be fans, and we're gonna be watching. Okay.
I thank you guys so much. And I want to thank you guys. Do I get to put something on the table too?
Oh, please.
Yeah. Okay. I want to thank you guys for creating, like I talk about, that masculine container for me. I thank you guys so much for holding space for me. Like, you don't understand how good that feels. And to be able to have space. I think I already thanked y'all for that, but I don't care. I'm gonna say it again. It just feels phenomenal to be able to feel like, even like the energy you guys are bringing, it's just peaceful. It feels good, and it made me feel comfortable to be able to kind of just open up and share. So, and this is the first like official like podcast interview I've ever done. So it feels good, and I'm really excited about it, and I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy that you guys had me. So thank you so much.
Well, try to bring positive vibes, maybe. But thank you for allowing us to be the ones to help, break this cherry for you and open up that space for you. I can't see all of us are, like as inviting as we are, but you experience more good than bad,
Listen, this is a great way to start this off for me. So I appreciate you guys having me, and I look forward to seeing how you guys grow and how you guys, like, do your thing with bringing the right people on, because I've listened like to some of you guys' interviews so far, and you guys are doing an amazing job with this.
Oh, thank you.
I'm very, very proud of you guys and your growth, and it's just really nice to see, and I'm really grateful to be a part of it. So,
oh, yeah, we grateful that you decided to be a part of it. Like, we got a lot of DMs, that was happy that you was joining the show today. Like, a lot of the ladies were definitely like, yeah. I got a lot of those in the email. Like, a lot of those, just like, yes, y'all finally doing it. Like, I fuck with her, or like, she dope. So like, yeah, you got a lot of fans and a lot of supporters, that's sending you well wishes and want to see you win.
thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Before you leave, I do need you to explain, what is a wolf woman? Because I seen that on your profile, and I never got the explanation from you on what a wolf is.
And
I would ask you that.
I'm sorry, bro. And after that, could you please let us know who are Jelly Beans? Wolf Woman and Jelly Beans.
Okay. I would love to talk about it. Well, first and foremost, I attribute some of my growth to a book called Women Who Run with Wolves. It is a book that basically, what it does is it breaks down different parts of the female psyche through old stories that have been passed down generation through generation from different parts of the world. So basically what it does is there's a woman, to be honest with you, please guys don't give me the line about the author, because I can't remember her name right now. But I feel like I grew so much from like doing some of the work with identifying with some of the processes in that book. So that's why I call myself a wolf woman, because I feel like I am initiating myself into being a woman that runs with wolves, meaning like moving through fear, understanding like, different how to work with masculine energy, how to work with my feminine energy, just through stories. But it's definitely a book like women, ladies, if you guys are listening, that is a great book to help spark some inner work stuff, like women who run with wolves. It's Amazon. You guys can Kindle it. Jelly beans are you guys. You guys are my jelly beans. Like, you know, like a lot of, it's like a manifestation thing for me. So like, you know how a lot of like big like celebrities, they have like names for their fans, like the Beehive, and like Lady Gaga has like her little monster, Fame Monsters or something like that. I feel like that's my manifestation for my success. Like, I'm calling all my fans jelly beans. So isn't that cute though?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't care about that. But like, oh my gosh, I think it's so cute. So I was like, what can I call all my fans? Like the people that love me, that watch me every day? Jelly beans.
I think it's.
And you guys are every color of jelly beans. I love it. I love all my colors, my flavors, all of my support. You guys are tasty jelly beans. I enjoy you.
Right on.
I like that. I like that. That's a great response for that. Like.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I mean, you know, right now we're at the 70-minute mark. You know, this has been a beautiful interview, but I do need to turn on this NFL game and see if the Rams are winning, so I can see if I'm making this money or not.
Enjoy your game, guys. Thank you so much. I look forward to talking to you more.
Thank you. Absolutely. Well wishes and all of the greatest manifestations upon your walk and upon your path in your career.
I'm receiving all of it. I receive it, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Everybody that watched, Cuz, Tommy, everybody. I see all of you guys. I appreciate all your support, and I love you all. Bye.
We need you to tell everybody how they can get in contact with you. You know, how they can reach out, do connections, you know, support you musically, support your career. That's, you know.
You guys, all first and foremost, follow me on Instagram at Angelica the Woman. If you guys want to see like new music I have coming up, I'll probably be putting the link in my bio. But I'm actually in the process of building a website where you guys will be able to see all of my creative genius in one little squish spot, like a little peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you. I wanted to shout you out because he's also working with me on some stuff on my project as well. I appreciate all of you guys' presence. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Well, yeah, get all the shout outs in now, you know, while we still got the time, you know, shout out the whole team.
Shout out to Tommy Scorch. I am Mark Love. He's working with me. And I have a few other surprise guests coming too, but I can't say yet, you know, because I got to keep something else under wraps. So I got some other people working with me. So I look forward to sharing with you guys.
Okay. And we look forward to seeing it.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, now, PVM Talk Show, Wednesday, 7 p.m. We're going to be back with a whole new topic. Angelica the Woman, thank you once again for stopping by. I go by the name of Jack.
Bye. Thank you.
Smith. This episode will be up on YouTube tonight. So by midnight, you guys will be able to view on YouTube as well as Instagram. Please like, follow, subscribe, everything that Angelica does, as well as PVM. And we'll see you guys Wednesday at 7. Until then, stay blessed up, stay prayed up, stay loved up.
Bye. Love you guys.
Love you too.